evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcats face the Columbia Central Lions. There's a cheese recall, and the Red Cross is asking for volunteers. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. This weekend, the Tullahoma Wildcats take on Columbia. News Leader's John Gray spoke to Coach Sisk about the matchup.
We need a little insight into Columbia because Columbia is playing some pretty good football.
Columbia.
And they come in here, right?
Absolutely.
This coming week, this Friday night.
Absolutely. Columbia, solid football team. If you'll remember, there was a young man back when they won a state championship under Advanced Blues named Tadarius Goff. Tadarius was an inside linebacker, and he goes on to play at Tech. Heck of a football player. He's taken over the reins there in Columbia and got a lot of kids out, so defensively I expect for him to be pretty tough, and offensively back into the spread. Like I said, beat Lawrence County Friday night 31-0. So got our hands full coming in for homecoming, but wouldn't have it any other way. And look real forward to the Lions coming to Tullahoma. We need to get that first home win of the year. We need to win at home, John.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, does homecoming bring about a bunch of activities out of that aren't normal week activities?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
most coaches don't like homecoming week.
As you know, I've kind of learned that I had a great coach tell me one time that homecoming's for everybody else. Right? Hey, but what we got to do is, we got to remember to let these kids be kids. Homecoming is what it is, though. Hey, it's a chance for the community, and old alumni to come back, recognize the old place, and feel like they're back at home again.
Yeah.
What we have to do is, one, we have to be able to control ourselves, stay focused on the football game versus all of the activities.
Right.
And look, not saying don't participate. Go be a kid, go have fun. But let's just remember, when it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. When it's time to do homework, it's time to do homework.
And when it's time to strap it on, it's time to strap it on.
Absolutely. So, and the main thing after that is nobody likes to come home and go to homecoming and lose the football game.
Lose the football game.
It's our job.
Basically, it's about a football game.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of things going on next week, but I think sometime around 7 o'clock on a Friday, there's supposed to be a football game.
So as you look, with that said, as we look at our region and who's doing what, everybody just sort of in there. Everybody sort of lost a game or so, and there's not any real standout.
Well, Shelbyville's doing an amazing job right now, and they're putting points up on the board. Defensively played a little better this week against Wilson Central, only giving up 8 points. But I think that everybody's neck and neck right there, and really nobody's proven. And when I say that, we didn't prove anything this Friday night by beating Lincoln County. That's exactly what should happen in that football game. What we did is we proved to ourselves and everybody else that we are able to battle back from a loss, and that's what we want these kids to be able to do anyway.
Right.
So one game, one play,
That's
one
it.
anything doesn't define you.
Doesn't define it.
So
Sure
our
doesn't.
guys can just, hey, we just got to keep motoring on, and real anxious to get into this district because, hey, it's just, hey, like we said before, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar names. It's just, hey, it's time for Tullahoma to.
And a lot of football yet to play.
Absolutely.
So don't you give up. None of us are giving up. Shoot, we're just getting started with Tullahoma High School Wildcat football 2023, and it's just now starting to get good. So come see us this weekend, this next Friday night at homecoming. Get in there, take part in the festivities, and just be happy and proud that we have a facility and a school and the type of team we have and the type of support from our sponsors that we have to be able to do what we do in this wonderful little town by the name. There's not any other one in the world.
Yes, sir.
Tullahoma, as unique as its name. And so with that said, Coach, congratulations on a win last night.
Yes.
I know it made you happy. I know that your friends over there who are proud and respectful of you, we're glad to see you there and enjoyed sharing some stories with some of us. And we'll just keep going, and we'll keep blowing, and we'll sail on to the next port.
Exactly.
No, they be sailing to us this week. Maybe we get to burn their boat. What about that? We ain't letting them out of town, folks.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. Then she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. So this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Welcome back. Kraft Heinz is announcing a voluntary recall of approximately 83,800 cases of individually wrapped Kraft Singles American processed cheese slices that were shipped to a limited number of customers. The voluntary recall comes as a precaution after a temporary issue developed on one of their wrapping machines, making it possible that a strip of the film may remain on the slice after the wrapper has been removed. If the film sticks to the slice and is not removed, it could be unpleasant and potentially cause a gagging or choking hazard. Kraft Singles American processed cheese slices with the case and package information products included in the recall include 16-ounce Kraft Singles American pasteurized prepared cheese product with an individual package UPC of 021006006152661 and a best when used by date of 10 January 24 through 27 January 24. Individual packages in this recall will contain an S and a 72 and the manufacturing code are affected. No other varieties or sizes are included in the recall. The issue was discovered after several consumer complaints about finding the plastic stuck to a slice, including 6 complaints of consumers saying they choked or gagged in connection with the issue. No injuries or serious health issues have been reported. Kraft Heinz has fixed the machine that wrapped the affected slices, and all other processing machines have been thoroughly inspected. Consumers who purchase these items should not consume them and can return them to the store where it was purchased for an exchange or refund. Consumers can contact Kraft Heinz from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday at 1-800-280-8252 to see if a product is part of the recall and to receive reimbursement. At last week's Rock Creek concert series, Journey from the Heart wowed the crowd with their performance of the Heart classic, Barracuda. More news is coming up in just a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Join the Kiwanis Club of the Highland Rim as we present the 13th annual 41A Music Festival, returning to downtown Tullahoma September 29th and 30th. 2 days of music, food trucks, Kid Zone, downtown merchant specials, and beer to wet your whistle. Brought to you by Miller Lite, Michelob Ultra, NAS, and other great community partners. All proceeds benefit local children's charities. Visit 41A Music Festival, Highland Rim Kiwanis on Facebook to learn more. See you in downtown Tullahoma September 29th and 30th.
Welcome back. Volunteers in the Heart of Tennessee chapter for the American Red Cross responded to many historic disasters both locally and throughout the nation in the last 12 months. These dedicated volunteers have served communities dealing with floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, and wildfires in back-to-back disasters. Severe weather is part of a worsening national trend in which the American Red Cross has responded to nearly twice as many large disasters across the country as it did a decade ago. As rapidly intensifying weather-related events pose serious challenges to its humanitarian work and the people it serves, the Red Cross has announced an ambitious national plan to take urgent action. With more climate-driven disasters upending lives and devastating communities, the organization is racing to adapt its services and grow its disaster response capacity across the country. In the Tennessee region, this includes training volunteers on how to respond to disasters locally and across the country. The Heart of Tennessee chapter of the American Red Cross responds to these disasters and many home fires weekly, sometimes daily. Volunteers make up about 90% of the American Red Cross workforce, helping to make it possible to provide immediate support to our neighbors in time of need. The Red Cross is asking for help. Disaster volunteers receive training to respond to the scene of home fires and other disasters. Volunteers provide emotional support, safe shelter, vital supplies, emergency assistance, and information to help families begin recovery. The Heart of Tennessee chapter is conducting a local volunteer recruitment and training for those looking to make a lasting impact for others. Upcoming informational and training sessions include September 20th through September 21st, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., Heart of Tennessee chapter, 501 Memorial Boulevard in Murfreesboro. October 3rd from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., the Moore County Senior Citizen Center at 87 High Street in Lynchburg. If you have questions about the need for volunteers or how the American Red Cross responds in your community, please contact John Taylor, Disaster Program Manager, at jonathan.taylor@redcross.org. Did you know that many updates to your home, including exterior doors or new water heaters, can net you savings on not only your home energy costs, but also can be used as tax deductions? This video provided by the IRS explains many items that qualify for deductions. Many are available to homeowners and renters alike.
If you're looking for ways to lower the amount of money you spend on energy bills, head over to irs.gov/homeenergy. You can learn about home energy tax credits. These credits can mean big tax savings when you make energy efficient improvements around your house. You may be able to claim the energy efficient home improvement and residential clean energy property tax credits for the year you make qualifying improvements. Go to irs.gov/homeenergy to compare the credits and decide whether they apply to expenses you've already paid or will apply to improvements you're planning. You can claim either credit for any year you had qualifying expenses. Homeowners improving a primary residence will find many opportunities to claim a credit for qualifying expenses. Renters may also be able to claim credits, as well as owners of second homes, as long as it's used as your residence. Home improvements eligible for the energy efficient home improvement credit include exterior doors, central air conditioners, windows, insulation materials, skylights, furnaces, water heaters, hot water boilers, heat pumps, biomass stoves, and biomass boilers. The maximum total annual energy efficient home improvement credit amount may be up to $3,200. Residential clean energy expenses eligible for a tax credit include solar, wind and geothermal power generation, solar water heaters, fuel cells, and battery storage. There's no overall dollar limit for the residential clean energy property credit. For more information about how home energy tax credits can benefit you, head over to irs.gov/homeenergy.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Welcome back. In our final segment from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency's River Safety segment, where we cover knowing your limits while on the river.
The fifth and final tip we're going to talk about today is knowing your limits. So no matter what kind of water sport you're going to participate in on the river, whether it's paddleboarding, whitewater rafting, kayaking, flatwater kayaking, knowing your limits as a person is going to keep you safe next time you go on a trip. So if you have no experience in whitewater, look at going with a company or going with somebody who can kind of teach you some of the skills and things that you need so that you can develop over time and have a better experience, and if that is something that you want to pursue. But kind of looking at your own skill level and what you're looking to do and not getting it over your head is going to keep you safe and everybody else around you safe. Now that we've talked about the 5 tips, I want to show you a couple of things to be aware of next time you're on the water, things to look out for, and just kind of keep in the back of your head so that you can kind of pick out some things and stay safer when actually on the water. Today's a great example of that. The water's a little high, we've had a lot of rain, so we'll be able to look at a couple of these hazards, if you will, and talk about them and explain what you can do to avoid them. So the first hazard we're going to talk about is strainers. A lot of times when you're on the river, you'll see trees that have fallen into the water. That's going to be your #1 strainer that we'll see. A lot of times it can be man-made too. What happens is water will flow around, over, under these structures, such as a tree behind me, if you can see in the distance. It's fallen off the bank, and what's happening is the current is pushing over it. Well, if your boat or your body, if you're swimming, gets pushed up against that, all the force of the water that's pushing against there will not allow you to get off of it. So unless somebody's there with you and has either a throw up or some sort of extrication devices, it's going to be very hard to get you off of that. So looking at those hazards and knowing that they're there and trying to stay away from them as you're navigating the water will help just protect you and your group from those hazards. The next hazard we're going to talk about is undercut rocks, or places where water has eroded some of the rock underneath the exposed rock and you can't really see it. So what I have behind me is an example. These aren't covered up, so they don't pose a hazard right now. But if you happen to be on the Duck River when the water's a little bit higher, some of these little pockets can become into play. So what an undercut rock is, a lot of the times it's where water has eroded underneath the rocks, or like you see behind me where rocks have kind of stacked up and they create little pockets underneath them that a lot of times water can flow through, but debris, man-made stuff, trash, and kayaks can get stuck in them. So as you're paddling along, you may not see these hazards, but they're underneath the surface. These aren't things to be afraid of, they're things to be aware of. These are all manageable risk when kayaking or playing on the water, just being aware where these are. A lot of times you'll see people, we see it all the time out here, they'll come jump off the bluffs and they don't really realize that there is a lot of current still pushing through that area, and you can get pulled underneath those shelves, and in itself may not be dangerous, but when you get hung up in that debris and everything that comes with it, it can pose a dangerous situation. So another hazard to be aware of when on the river. The final hazard we're going to talk about is going to be low head dams. These are probably some of the most underrated hazards that we have on a lot of our waterways here in Tennessee, but a lot of times they pose the most danger. So if you look behind me, the water's up a little bit here on the Duck River. We're down at Milltown Dam. And as you can see, as the water goes over it, what happens is it creates what's called a hydraulic at the bottom of the falls. if you see the water's kind of recirculating on itself, kind of like if you watch the washing machine go back and forth. And what happens is if you're kayaking along this section or even swimming above the dam, if you happen to end up over it, a lot of times that recirculation will keep your body and your boat inside there and won't let you out and can potentially turn into a drowning situation.
And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 2010 at 95 degrees. Record low was in 1918 at 36 degrees. Average high for this day is 80 degrees, and the average low is 58. Mostly clear for tonight with a low of 59. Sunny skies for Friday with a high of 83 and a low of 58. And sunny skies continue for Saturday with a high of 82 and a low of 57. And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe. Have a great evening.